editor-in-chief of LinkedIn News, what is your message to the listener who has shied away all this time from expressing their voice so far?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I have total empathy for people who have not expressed their voice yet. It is a hard thing for many people to do. And I understand why it is. When you are talking, you're exposing yourself, you're putting yourself out there. And there's a great Amy Edmondson. Amy Edmondson is this professor at Harvard who writes about, she's amazing. Yes. And she talks about the need for psychological safety.
Yes.
And I think that you have to spend a little time on LinkedIn first, understanding what you might want to ease your way into it. So you start just liking content and maybe you share some things privately and then start leaving comments. It's a great, you can, if you want to, you can ease your way into this. Comments are amazing. The comments on LinkedIn are phenomenal.
Gold.
They're gold. And I think they're gold because the creating out of the blue is hard, but offering your perspective on someone else's perspective is a little bit easier.
Yes.
And so people like you who are comfortable with your voice and you write and share on LinkedIn, you're giving people the opening to be able to share their own voice. So a woman on my team who has coined this phrase of LinkedIn as being the platform of generosity, a woman named Kelly Schweitzer. I love the first time she said it, I was like, oh, that's it. This idea of being on LinkedIn to give back, that is how you're successful on LinkedIn. And so I think when people are scared to build their voice, it is because they think that means bragging or showing off or declaring that they are experts at something. None of that is the case. You can share questions. You can share thoughts that ramble. You can just show your work. You talked about like being a graphic. If you're a graphic designer, show a logo that you created and say, like, what do you think of this? You don't have to be a quote unquote thought leader, and I think people think that's the bar.
No,
it's just not the bar.
Nobody starts like that. I mean, like you said, for all of us, it's been a journey. And when I started in 2018, comments are gold because they're mini blogs of their own. And then you can convert them. You're like, oh, this comment is getting traction. I wonder what's going on. So like take that comment, convert it into a post. But like you said, step by step, we dip your toes in the water. You don't have to go 50 meters yet. Just feel the temperature, splash around, and you're gonna get there. So love
and
that.
The other part is that there's really no downside. There's no. I think people sometimes get nervous. Well, I have to find the perfect thing to say, but exactly. They get stuck and you're making caught in your head motion.
People can't see us, but I'm like, we get in our head, and I've been there, and it's so weird to think this, Dan, because I remember when I started posting in 2017, 2018, I remember thinking, what is this person gonna say?
Yes,
what is that person gonna say? But guess what? It turns out they couldn't care less. They don't even know sometimes that we exist. So have made it so huge in our head.
That's exactly right. You just put it out there and move on. Put it out and move on. And you'll see some things will land and some things won't. And sometimes you do stuff for a reaction and sometimes you do stuff for you. But it is the process of my biggest piece of advice is just get started.
Just
get in the habit, build a habit, post an article that you saw that you thought was interesting, add a comment to someone's post, share some idea that you had, give a productivity, something that works for you in terms of productivity, take a picture of your desk. Just put something out there, just get in the habit of doing it and don't really worry about the metrics. For a while, just get in the habit of doing it, start building your voice. And I think one unique thing about LinkedIn is that the return is different than on other social media. This is not a place to count your likes and to check your following every day. When we hear from people what success is on LinkedIn, everything is about connecting to economic opportunity. So you might post 5 things in a month, 10 things in a month, and one of those might land on exactly the right feed of someone who is trying to partner on some project that you would be perfect for, and you get the email that comes in and says, hey, Frank, why don't we team up on this? Or I saw your post on X, I'm looking for someone to do exactly that. Or can I hire you? Or would you hire me? There's all of these connections to economic opportunity that can come through you building your voice, but you just don't know which of those is going to land that opportunity. So it means you have to be out there.